Hi, hello, and welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to do something very different because usually on this channel that I have just recently started, I am reacting to people who talk about other countries, mostly the UK at the moment, but it's going to be widespread in a few weeks. However, today we're going to do something very different because I am going to make a video for other reactors to watch. Dumb, unnecessary, or wrong nonsense German parents tell their kids when they're young. Yes, there are a lot of things that my parents have taught me over the years when I was still a little kid, and most of it did make sense indeed. Most of it was so important and it made me the human being that I am nowadays. But there were also things that my parents have told me, and not only mine, but also other German parents do tell their children the exact same things. Sometimes there's a little bit of variety within the sentence, but overall it's mostly the same and Germany as a whole. Today I'm going to tell you 8 things that German parents tell their kids that are more or less absolute nonsense. And there is also going to be a one bonus one in the end. But we're going to start right here, right now, with the number 1. And I'm pretty sure that every single German kid has heard this sentence, not once, not twice, but at least 100 times of their childhood. If you sit too close to the television, your eyes will turn square. By the way, I'm so curious if some of this stuff is just German parents or if some of these things are actually being told by parents in other countries as well. So please let me know in the comments down below. Have your parents ever told you that if you sit too close in front of the TV that your eyes will turn square? I don't know how it would even be possible, like scientifically, that your eyes would just turn the same square shape that the TV is you're looking at. By the way, there is also a very funny meme about this exact topic. So I think this is something that is more or less told by parents all over the planet. I'm gonna insert it here if I find it. And let's hop on to the next one. The next sentence that you'll hear is something that my parents have told me every single summer. And also, I've spoken to other adults in Germany. They have heard the very same sentence with a little variety here and there. Because my parents have told me, if you eat cherries while drinking Coca-Cola, you'll get a stomach ache. And I'm not talking about cherry Coke. I'm talking about cherries, the fruit, and Coca-Cola, or any other brand that makes this kind of lemonade. My fiance was told by his parents that if he ate cherries and drank water, he'd get a stomach ache. So I guess there's a slight variety throughout Germany. Please tell me, have your parents told you the very same thing? And which beverage was it? And also, to be honest, I actually don't know if there is any truth to this. Like, if you eat cherries, what happens to your stomach if you at the same time drink some kind of beverage? Will it just implode? I don't know. But maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe there are people out there who did this and got a stomach ache. I never did as a child. I always ate cherries. A whole summer we had like a very big cherry tree in the garden and I ate them all the time while drinking several beverages. I never got any stomach ache, so I don't know how true this actually is. Also, the next sentence is something that I have heard many times, and I don't know how much truth to that there really is. I wouldn't want to say there is none, because actually I'm no doctor and I know how accurate this is. So if you are a doctor, maybe let me know in the comments, can this really happen? But my parents have always told me, if you swallow chewing gum, your stomach will get glued shut. Like nothing will work anymore. There will be this chewy glue kind of substance in your gut everywhere, and it will just stop working for I don't know how long. My parents have never actually told me. They have always warned me that I shouldn't do that. Also, something along the lines of if you swallow gum, it'll just rest in your stomach forever and ever like a stone and not move anymore. There's another thing that I've heard about gum. I don't think either of those two is true, but have your parents told you the same when you were a little kid? Here's a funny one. I'm really curious with this one whether other parents in other countries are telling their kids exactly the same thing, or if this is like, it could be typically German, but I don't know. My parents have always told me, if you don't finish your plate when you're eating, weather will turn bad. It doesn't make any sense, like scientifically again, but parents just wanted their kids to finish their plates, which by now we all know that this isn't actually healthy to begin with because we tend to overeat. If we hear this sentence as little kids and we have this thing in our minds that will stick with us forever and ever, even when we're an adult, that we have to finish our plate, even if we're not hungry anymore, but we have to. I'm very curious if this is a German thing only, because it's actually something that's less healthy. But parents back then, when I grew up, like in the 80s, 90s, didn't actually know that yet. It's funny, but it can also harm the individual hearing that over and over again when they're an adult. How many of you out there are still overeating because you still want to finish your plate? Not because you believe it's bad weather, but because you have been told this a million times when you were young. Talking about bad weather, something, and I think this is very specific to German parents because I've never ever heard that before in any other country from any other reactor, is there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. Meaning that if you're a young kid and it's raining outside or storming or the sun is shining, no matter what weather is outside, there is no bad weather. You just need the right clothes to wear and then you'll be fine. Typical German sentence. Also, another very funny one that my parents have told me over and over again is if you cross your eyes, if you do like this kind of thing, your face and your eyes might stay that way if you get spooked while doing it. I don't know why. I don't know how that should work. But my parents have told me, do not do that. Do not play with your eyes. Do not cross your eyes. Because if you get spooked in that moment, they're going to stay that way. Another one that parents all over Germany will tell their kids when it's summer and everyone is out there in the swimming pool or at the sea or somewhere where there's water and people are swimming in it. And my parents have always done this because I loved go swimming as a child. I always went there. And whenever I went there, there were three essentials that I really needed, which is first, fries and ketchup, second, ice cream, and third, Mohnkopfbrötchen, which we might talk about in another video, but that's not today's topic. My parents have always told me, after eating, no matter what, I need to wait for a period of 30 minutes before I can go back into the water, because otherwise I might drown if I go in too early. And I have no clue why people are telling this to their children. Is this accurate? Like, I wouldn't drown if I ate something and then went into the water, but maybe there is some kind of, I don't know, is it about the weight? You eat something, your body weighs more, and then you just drown? I don't... I have no clue why parents are telling this to their children, but they are. And I always found it so annoying when I went with my parents and I always had to wait after eating like half an hour. And if you're a kid and you want to eat like every single hour or every hour and a half because swimming makes you really, really hungry, and then you want to eat 3 or 4 times while you're there, and because you're not eating like real stuff but just like snacks and all that, and every single time I had to wait like 30 minutes to get back into the water was annoying. So annoying. I wonder, is this only German parents? Let me know. This next one, I guess, is more common in other countries as well, but my parents have always told me if I lie too much, my nose will actually grow just like Pinocchio's. And I think this is a very common one because Pinocchio is everywhere in literature, not only in Germany. We German children were always told, please don't lie, we'll see it because your nose is gonna get longer. As a child, if you still believe your parents when they say that, you really don't want to lie. Later you find out they lie to you all the time saying that. And now for the last one, I do have a very special one that's so dear to my heart. It's actually something that doesn't make any sense, but it's nothing that I have been told in order to discipline me or in order to make me not do things that would be fun. But I was told this by my grandma, rest in peace. Whenever it was like December and I went outside with her, like taking a walk, and then in the evening when the sun sets, the sky gets this kind of reddish shimmer, my grandma always told me, look up to the sky, kiddo. Do you know what that red sky means? It means that the angels in heaven are baking Christmas cookies right now. And this is actually like the fire of the ovens and all. So sweet and so cute. And I really love that. Every single time I look to the sky and it's red, I think of my grandma because she said that. It's so heartwarming. And she's always with me whenever I see like a reddish sky in the evening, even if it's not December, but I'm always thinking like the angels are baking cookies again. So sweet. We're at the end of the video. Please tell me which one of these, I'm so excited, which one of these have your parents told you? Or are there even other nonsensical things that your parents have told you if you live in another country? Stuff that you have been told as a kid that just doesn't make any sense, but when you're little, you believe your parents. And it's so funny when you grow up and you actually see that none of this was really true. I hope you had much fun watching this video together with me. I thought it'd be a nice idea because I have never ever seen like a video like this on YouTube. So I hope it's new information for everyone who wants to get information about Germany as a country. Let me know if you liked the video. Have a nice day. Bye!